The Women's Reservation Bill is a step closer to becoming a law. After clearing the Lok Sabha hurdle, 454 versus 2, the historic bill is now being debated in the Rajya Sabha as we speak and is expected to sail through equally smoothly. The run-up to the passage of the bill saw heated exchanges, opposition to some parts, some light moments, some poetry, and even some star appearances. The day started with the Prime Minister setting the tone in the Lok Sabha. Listen in.
कल भारत की संसदीय यात्रा का एक स्वर्णिम पल था। और उस स्वर्णिम पल के हकदार इस सदन के सभी सदस्य हैं। सभी दल के सदस्य हैं। ये कल का निर्णय और आज राज्यसभा के बाद जब हम अंतिम पड़ाव भी पूरा कर लेंगे, देश की मातृशक्ति का जो मिजाज बदलेगा, जो विश्वास पैदा होगा, वो देश को नई ऊंचाइयों पर ले जाने वाली एक अकल्पनीय अप्रतिम शक्ति के रूप में उभरेगा, ये मैं अनुभव करता हूं।
Like in the Lok Sabha yesterday, Rajya Sabha MPs stuck to their demand of a separate OBC quota for women within this bill. They also raised concerns over when the census and delimitation exercise will take place and when the Women's Reservation Bill will be eventually implemented. As you know, the bill will not impact the 2024 elections, which is next year. In his response, Law Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal has said the census and delimitation exercise will be carried out once the bill is passed.
देखिए ये दुखे बात तो है ही, क्योंकि महिलाओं के आरक्षण बिल जो लाया गया विधानसभा और लोकसभा के सदस्यों के लिए, तो उसका तो कांग्रेस ने समर्थन किया, लेकिन इसका इम्प्लीमेंट कब होगा? जब उन्होंने कहा कि जब इसका जनगणना हो जाए, उसके बाद परिसीमन हो जाए, उसके बाद लागू होगा, तो ये तो वर्षों लग जाएगा। जबकि सोनिया जी ने स्पष्ट कहा कि इसे तत्काल लागू किया जाए, जो कि अभी होता दिखाई दे नहीं रहा है। जो 2024 के चुनाव में इसको लागू किया जाना चाहिए।
कि जब से नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार बनी है, तब से लेकर जो आर्थिक और सामाजिक क्षेत्र में असमानता थी, उसको दूर करने का प्रयास किया। उसमें महिला सशक्तिकरण भी सम्मिलित है। लोकसभा और देश की सभी विधानसभाओं में 1/3 सीटें नारी शक्ति के लिए आरक्षित की जाएगी। ये बहुत बड़ा कदम है, बहुत बड़ा कदम है। ये रिजर्वेशन सर हॉरिजॉन्टल भी है और वर्टिकल भी है। इसमें SC/ST की महिलाओं को भी रिजर्वेशन है, इसलिए सेंसस आवश्यक है और डीलिमिटेशन आवश्यक है। संविधान के आर्टिकल 82 में पहले से ही प्रावधान है, डीलिमिटेशन की व्यवस्था दी गई है।
Meanwhile, a new issue surrounding the Women's Reservation Bill took shape in the Rajya Sabha today. It's about the new name of the bill, Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. Adhiniyam means law. Opposition MPs say the use of the word Vandan is indicative of the government doing a favor to women. This is how JP Nadda responded to that.
ये नारी शक्ति विधेयक है, लेकिन अपने नाम दे दिया इसका नारी शक्ति वंदन विधेयक। मुझे लगता है ये एक संवैधानिक अधिकार है, ये कोई दैविक वरदान नहीं है, ये कोई प्रधानमंत्री साहब का या आपका दिया हुआ महिलाओं को दया का पात्र नहीं है। ये हमारा एक संवैधानिक अधिकार है। आपने इसका नाम दैविक और दया और पूजा से जोड़ के, मुझे लगता है जो आंदोलन का इतिहास था उसको भी खत्म करने की कोशिश की है। ये एक मैं महिला होने के नाते बोल रही हूँ। वंदना आपके सरकार में महिलाओं की कितनी होती है, यह हम सबको मालूम है।
नारी शक्ति वंदन अधिनियम मुझे तो समझ में नहीं आया कि ये लेजिस्लेशन है या किसी तरह का धार्मिक ग्रंथ की एक उसका शीर्षक है, क्योंकि बचपन से पढ़ता आया इस देश में संविधान राइट्स की बात करता है, अधिकार की। हमारी वोकैबुलरी को क्या होता जा रहा है? अधिकार दया की श्रेणी में नहीं आएगा, लेकिन पूरा का पूरा जो टेक्सचर देखता हूं वो दया की श्रेणी में बात होती है। अधिकारों की बात कभी दया से नहीं होगी। ये ऐतिहासिक क्षण सचमुच ऐतिहासिक होगा अगर हमने आज इतिहास को व्यापक कैनवस पर देखा, जो प्रधानमंत्री जी कहते हैं।
मैं यहां यह भी कहना चाहता हूं कि हम सब लोगों के मन में कुछ धारणाएं बन गई हैं, और वो धारणा ये बनी है कि जैसे हम महिलाओं पर कोई कार्य कर रहे हैं तो कुछ एहसान कर रहे हैं। अगर हमने महिलाओं के सशक्तिकरण के लिए कुछ किया तो हम कुछ ऑब्लाइज कर रहे हैं। मैं यहां स्पष्ट करना चाहता हूं कि भारत की संस्कृति में महिलाओं का बहुत बड़ा स्थान रहा है। इसलिए हमारा नजरिया बेचारा, अबला, बेचारी नारी ऐसा कभी नहीं रहा। हमेशा हम लोगों ने उनको एक विशेष स्थान देकर के उनको आगे बढ़ाने का काम किया।
Now, even as JP Nadda was speaking, Mallikarjun Kharge intervened and questioned the delay in the implementation of the bill. Mr. Kharge quoted Kabir's iconic lines, "Kal kare so aaj kar," to attack JP Nadda and the BJP.
सर, जब पंचायत में रिजर्वेशन के लिए होता है, जिला पंचायत का होता है, तो ये वुमन रिजर्वेशन का क्यों नहीं होता? आज करो। और मैं एक कबीर का दुआ सुनाता हूँ, कल करने का आज करो, आज करने का अब करो, और फिर तो पल में प्रलय होगा तो फिर करेंगे कब? पल में प्रलय होगा तो फिर करेंगे कब? मिस्टर नड्डा, तो इसीलिए आप आज कीजिए, वी आर रेडी। वो इलीगल नहीं होता, जुडिशरी नहीं होता, कुछ नहीं।
सभापति जी,
1 second sir, we are the upper house, we are the house of elders. If there is a reflection that there is a legal working mechanism, a constitutional process, then rather than play the other way around, we have to look into the real legality of it.
And as the debate continued, Trinamool Congress MP Derek O'Brien threw a googly at the government. He said the government should bring the bill in 2024 or give women quota in the Rajya Sabha as well. He further gave a third option to the BJP, getting 1/3 women elected from their party.
2024, an open challenge from my party. You bring 1/3 of women elected from your party and show us. Yeah. Bring! So here's an idea which may not happen in 24, but think about it. It's coming to you from my party as a suggestion. Get everybody on board, have proper discussion on the subject, and then bring 1/3 women reservation also in Rajya Sabha. Yeah. We will all support. It can't be done in a hurry, but bring it. The question is, sir, for all the speeches we hear, is the BJP really serious about empowering women?
Now, amidst this intense debate, the Rajya Sabha echoed with laughter after a light-hearted exchange between Congress MP Rajni Patil and SP MP Jaya Bachchan, who was briefly presiding over the session. Mid-speech, Ms. Patil passionately criticized the government for hosting Bollywood actresses in Parliament, accusing them of photo ops without addressing issues in Manipur. She playfully suggested that these actresses were merely there to promote their films. The twist? Ms. Patil soon realized that actress-turned-politician Jaya Bachchan was occupying the chair at that point of time. The house was filled with laughter, as Jaya Bachchan, clearly amused, responded that she would have given a fitting reply if she hadn't been in the speaker's seat.
हमारे सामने जो मंत्री जी बैठे हैं, उनका फोटो मैंने कल देखा, मिठाई खिला रहे हैं अभिनेत्रियों को। तो अरे आपको मिठाई भी खिलानी है तो जिनका हमें जम्मू कश्मीर में शहादत दी है उनके घर जाओ, उनके घर के आंसू पोंछने की कोशिश करो। मणिपुर में जाओ, मणिपुर के महिलाओं को जब नग्न किया जाता है और उनको जब एक बलात्कार किया जाता है, उनके लिए आपके मन में कोई संवेदना नहीं है, लेकिन आपको हमदर्दी है। जो बॉलीवुड से आती है उनको खिलाओ, और वो भी महिला आती है मैडम, वो भी अच्छा आज जो वो भी आती है अपने फिल्म का प्रमोशन करती है मैडम। हमारा विरोध इसलिए नहीं कि वो आती है, उनको आने दो, लेकिन अपना प्रमोशन उन्होंने नहीं यहाँ करना चाहिए, और उसके लिए फोटोशॉपिंग होता है, पत्रकार आते हैं, वो नहीं होना चाहिए, ऐसे मुझे लगता है। दूसरी बात यह है कि जब आपने हमें दिया है,
मैं चेयर का रिस्पेक्ट की वजह से आपको कुछ कह नहीं रही हूँ।
Now, fact is, Parliament has seen several women celebrities visit the new building this week. This includes Kangana Ranaut, Isha Gupta, Bhumi Padnekar and Shehnaz Gill. Today, it was the turn of Tamanna Bhatia, Divya Dutt and Harnas Kaur Sandhu. And like every citizen in this country, they have an equal right to listen to debates in Parliament and visit Parliament. There's nothing wrong in that. Listen in to Tamanna Bhatia.
ज़रूर ये बहुत ही ऐतिहासिक दिन है, और राज्यसभा में बस ये सेशन देखने का एक मौका मिला, और ये बिल डेफिनेटली हमारे लिए बहुत ही ज़रूरी था। और हर फील्ड में औरतें, वो चाहे वो कोई सीमा पे लड़ रही हों या अलग अलग फील्ड्स में एक्सेल कर रही हों, तो हमारे देश को क्यों नहीं चला सकती। तो इनका जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन है बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, और ये बिल का पास होना हमारे लिए बहुत ही गर्व की बात है।
और यहाँ से आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी द्वारा ये इनिशिएटिव लिया जा रहा है, तो तहे दिल से शुक्रिया करना चाहूँगी, शुभकामनाएं देना चाहूँगी।
मुझे लगता है कि स्पेशली जब नया पार्लियामेंट देखा तो मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई, जिस तरीके का हमारी संस्कृति का प्रदर्शन हुआ है, जिस तरीके की स्थापना की गई है। और मैं कहूंगी ग्लोबली ये एक ऐसी इमारत है जो हमारा, ये सिर्फ एक इमारत नहीं बल्कि हमारा इमोशन है। और हमने जैसे यूएन की भी बिल्डिंग्स देखी हैं, उनके भी हॉल्स देखे हैं, मैं कहूंगी उन्हीं के मुकाबले में ये बना है। और सही मायने में आई थिंक वेरी प्राउड टू बी इंडियन एंड टू विजिट। मुझे लगता है कि 33% जो सीटों का आरक्षण हुआ है महिलाओं की बिल के लिए, और वो जल्दी पास हो जाए, तो ये इससे ज्यादा और बात महिलाओं के लिए और क्या अच्छी हो सकती है।
Basiri Swaraj joining us on the broadcast, Secretary Delhi BJP, Advocate Mahima Singh, spokesperson of the Congress Party. I do have a question for you, Basiri, because I've still not understood the linkage between the delimitation exercise, the census, and the Women's Reservation Bill, but I'll come to that in just a bit. Today, as things were being debated, Basiri, on the floor of the House, there was a suggestion that came from TMC MP Derek O'Brien. He's saying, why exclude the Rajya Sabha? Why not give women reservation, 1/3 reservation, even in the Rajya Sabha? Could you help our viewers understand why a decision was taken only for the Lok Sabha and for legislative assemblies and not for the upper house?
Sure, that is because when it comes to Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies, there are direct elections. So the first reservation is being done in House of Representatives and the House of Commons, so to speak, so that direct elections is where this is being dealt with. As far as Rajya Sabha is concerned, let's see how things pan out. You also know that laws are something which are ever evolving. It took 27 years of struggle to just get this reservation passed for legislative assemblies and for the Lok Sabha. If there is political will and all the political parties are okay to bring this in the Rajya Sabha, I'm sure that that is something that the political representatives of the country can explore it later on.
But the fact is that it could have very well been included in this bill itself. Advocate Mahima Singh, that hasn't happened. Is that something that the Congress party wants to talk about? We know that Derek O'Brien has spoken about it, but I haven't heard Congress MPs talk about it on the floor of the House. But is that a view that the Congress holds as well? Why just the Lok Sabha? Why not the Rajya Sabha?
Jai Hind, I would like to begin with these lines that embody the spirit that every Indian woman portrays. खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. You sitting on that panel there, I representing the Congress party and Bansuri representing the BJP here, I think is a proof enough that we have done enough for ourselves over the years, and generations have worked for the insurance of our rights. However, the two questions, the two very pertinent questions that face each citizen of this country today, that face the government today, that are being asked by each citizen today of the government, Shreya, are that was the BJP rethinking the name of this bill for over the past 9 years? Could they not really think of that Nari Shakti Vandan, the appropriate words? Is that why it was delayed after they got a major, major public mandate in 2014? Because they abrogated 370, they did demonetization, they brought in GST, massive decisions were taken, yet women's rights were not on the forefront for the BJP, and that's for all to see. And the second question is, why are we the only G20 member having not conducted a census for more than 10 years? I think every democratic country does that. And here we are. The question that the BJP needs to answer is, in addition to what you have just asked, is that what is keeping them from conducting this census? Why not put out the socio-economic caste census data that was conducted by the Congress in 2011? And yet what you have asked, I would try to paraphrase that, how will the proportion change? 33% of 100 or 1,000 would still be as relevant. Yeah, you were saying something, Shreya.
Yeah, I was saying that the earlier part of your answer is, to me, sounded like opposition for the sake of opposition. The fact is, your own party has overwhelmingly voted for the bill in the Lok Sabha, and that is exactly what is going to happen in the Rajya Sabha as well. Ab naam aisa kyun rakha, Vandan kyun rakha? Anyway, we'll let Basuri respond to that. Basuri, the opposition is not very happy with the name. They're saying, why is this Puja Archana link to a bill that is a legislative exercise? Isme Puja Archana aur Vandan kyun dal diya aapne bhai?
Shreya, let me first respond to the more pertinent question about delimitation. You asked, and Mahima ji also asked, insinuated, why is this related to delimitation? Why is there a delay? Let me answer that first, in a very logical manner. So you also know that in any, whether it's legislative assemblies or the Lok Sabha, the number of seats is directly proportionate and in ratio to the population of the country. Article 170, sub-article 3 of the Indian Constitution bars that you cannot increase the number of seats in any kind of representative body until and unless you've had a population census. Now, if the women reservation gets implemented in 2024, then what will happen is, without the population census, the number of women will still remain in a very dire manner, underrepresented, because the population of the country has increased. We are the most populated country in the world right now, and therefore the population census is necessary. Now, why was the earlier population census not done? Because it was due in 2021. You and I both know that there was an unprecedented situation of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the moment the bill is passed, the population census will happen. Why is delimitation happening? Because the delimitation commission is an independent body which is going to have a former judge of the Supreme Court. It's going to have representatives of political parties. It is going to have members of the election commission. They are going to not only increase the number of seats, but they are also going to redraw the boundaries of each assembly or each constituency. Why that is necessary is because if the ruling party does that, then we will be accused of politicizing and of having a political motive or a vendetta. We need transparency in that, which the delimitation commission will do.
The logic doesn't stretch, Basuri.
It does.
The logic doesn't stretch, and I will let Mahima come in. I'll tell you why the logic doesn't stretch for me. Sun lo meri baat. And you answer me. The logic doesn't stretch for me, and I'll let Mahima come in, and then I'll give you the last word on this debate. The logic doesn't stretch for me because we already say Aadhi Abadi, right? Of the last census figure, we know that women in this country are 48.5% of of the population, which is almost Adhi Abadi. So what are we expecting from the next census? Are we trying to say that the population of women would have gone to 60% or 70%? Even if we say that, even we know that's not true, but I'm saying even if we say that, the figure that we need to keep in mind is that right now the representation of women in the Lok Sabha is 15%, in state assemblies is 10%. So, whenever you give the 33%, it will be sufficient, and the data you require to give this 33% already exists. The data points you require for this bill is already present. So that logic honestly doesn't stretch. But let me get in Mahima here. After that, Basuri, you can respond to both of us. Mahima, just keep it short though, because I don't have too much time.
Yeah, correct. So see, underrepresented is the word that the BJP spokesperson has just used. And let me ask, so then are the men also not underrepresented today, or the other genders are not underrepresented today? Because, the number of seats has remained 543 for few decades now. And so the BJP might as well delay the election on that premise. Tomorrow they might say that because the census has not happened, the delimitation has not happened, so we do not know actually how many members should be elected. So let's delay the election for till the time census and delimitation happens. So I think that's a very lame logic, and the BJP really needs to sharpen its knives of logic before they can answer to that one, because everybody is asking that question, Shreya.
Basuri, I'll give you the last word, but as I said, the logic isn't stretching for me.
What happens is that if delimitation is basically barred by Article 173 of the Constitution, which says that a population census, it's constitutionally mandated. You need to have a population census, only then delimitation will happen. Now, why delimitation is necessary is because if a state has managed its population better and the redrawing of the constituency boundaries is not going to happen, then they are going to get penalized. It absolutely stands to logic. Of course, if today you're going to have 33% reservation on the existing seats, I know that Mahima disagrees with me, but yes, women are going to be direly unrepresentative. The population of the country has increased, and therefore a population census is necessary. After that, delimitation is necessary so that the boundary of every constituency can be redrawn, the number of constituencies and number of seats can be increased, and then we can have a proper implementation of this bill. Because unlike the Congress party, this is not merely an eyewash or a hogwash. This is something which is being brought for the benefit of the country. And yes, today the Honorable Prime Minister also thanked every member of Parliament, including members of the Congress party, for their support for this bill. And I really hope that all these nitpicking that is happening about delay of implementation, about name of the legislation, etc., all of this is put aside. And frankly speaking, we have a very effective affirmative action for the benefit of this country and for the benefit of women of this country.
Okay, then can I very quickly ask you, if I extend the logic you are giving me, that if the census, for example, says that women are now 50% of the country, सच में वो आधी आबादी हो गई है, by that logic, will the representation increase from 33% to 50%?
It will not increase from 33% to 50%, but आधी आबादी कहाँ बढ़ी है ये देखना जरूरी है. Is it Uttar Pradesh or is it Maharashtra? If a particular state has actually managed its population better, then it cannot be penalized by having a lesser number of seats. The number of seats need to be proportionate or in ratio to the population of that state, but there needs to be a set of uniformity.
I am out of
the redrawing of the boundaries of the constituency.
5 seconds. By that logic,
I have 10 seconds. My producer is asking me to wrap. Go ahead. 5 seconds.
By that logic, does the BJP spokesperson mean that they have allowed underrepresentation for all the castes, all the groups over the last 10 years, in spite of having a massive majority? That's the question.
That is another debate. That's another debate for another time. Ladies, thank you very much. That's another debate for another time. We leave it there for the moment. Basuri Swaraj, good to have you on the show. Mahima Singh, thank you very much. With that, it's a wrap from me. My colleague Deepak Bopanna is joining you from Bangalore with all the day's stories from down south. Do stay with us.